Great. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jonathan Black. I'm Director of the Careers Service, and it's my great pleasure to open this year's Careers Conference for Researchers, which is the fourth such event we've run. And we're looking forward to 4 days of panels and workshops that are going to be designed to help you explore options for your next career move and your strategies for getting there. Bit of housekeeping. This session and the keynote later in the week are the only sessions being recorded. All the other sessions will have the normal standard Q&A. And of course, if you come along to the in-person keynote or book an appointment with for one-to-ones, you can get your own questions answered. We are especially grateful to our sponsors, Susquehanna International Group, Oxford Asset Management and Jane Street, whose support makes the whole conference possible. But they're not just sponsoring it with money. They really want to meet you and to offer and explain the opportunities available in their organisation. So please do attend their panel at 11 o'clock today to find out more about the roles in those companies and to check the conference booklet for details of the other sessions they're involved in across the conference. These are three, shall I say, enlightened organisations that really see the value of research staff in working, leaving one role and moving to work with them. Well, it's the first time since 2019 we've been able to hold part of the conference in person. So the keynote address and the networking session, and there are a few places still available. That's going to be at the Careers Service in Banbury Road. And it would be great to see you there. It is wonderful. We had our first live panel discussion blended with speakers from Denmark and York on Thursday, and it was wonderful to all be back together again, as many of you already know. Now, the Careers Service has been providing career support to the researcher community for over 20 years in one guise or another. And we are really excited that funding has recently been secured via the Researcher Hub itself, a pretty new organisation, to employ 2 dedicated careers advisors to work with research staff. And they're going to be starting in the summer. Now, in case you're looking for new work, the job ad for those 2 roles is available on the university jobs page. And there is still plenty of time if you're interested in finding out more about it or you wish to apply. The job closes on the 7th of April, and in the slide at the end of this session, there'll be more details on that. If you go onto the university jobs page, you can see it. You'll be able to contact anybody to find out more about it. And interviews and so on will be held towards the end of April. Now, we already provide extensive support. I hope you found our researcher pages on the website. And these new appointments will give us even more capacity to develop this aspect of our work. So we look forward to doing that through the doctoral training centres and partnerships, through the researcher strategy consultancy we're running, as well as through our links with departments and colleges. If we step back and think about work for research staff, COVID has clearly had an incredibly extensive impact on the world of work, both inside and outside academia. And we think the evidence is that researchers are comparatively well positioned to take advantage of this emerging COVID job market. And we're not just talking about whether you're working from home, working from away, or working in the lab or the office. If we look at the skills that research staff have, they match very closely to what the World Economic Forum Future of Work report has listed as the top skills sought by employers for 2025. And number 1 is analytical thinking and innovation. And regardless of your subject area, humanities, arts, sciences, medical sciences, analytical thinking and innovation is core to what you do. And then I'm not going to read all 15, but things like active learning, learning strategies, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, originality. I hope that rings a lot of bells, that you have those skills and you can demonstrate those to employers, which again is why the sponsors and other employers are so interested in researchers. So what to do next? I would encourage you, and the fact you're already on this call, to think about how you leverage your skills and optimize those career pathways that are open to you. And so come to these events with a really open mind. Don't prejudge, oh, I wouldn't be interested in that industry, or I don't think that job's for me, or any of that. I think if you start this week with an open mind, being curious, asking questions, trying to find out the culture of organizations particularly, and getting insights from the speakers, you'll go away with a lot more information. I mean, one of my colleagues in the Careers Service has a theory that, you know, the unconscious mind is so much more powerful than the conscious mind, and what we have to do with the unconscious mind is deluge it with information, with data, with evidence, leave it to work on it, so that when you let the unconscious come through, it will say, you know what, those people you met at this industry that you'd never thought of before, that actually could work. Why don't you go back and talk to them? So deluge yourself during the next week with information, with insights from the speakers, all of whom have done doctoral study, so they've been there, done that, and many of them have spent time in academic research or teaching roles before moving into their current sector, so a lot in common. Do make a few notes for each session you attend. It'll help you to reflect and learn. You know about all that anyway. And there is a template in the conference booklet to help you do this, to slightly structure your thoughts if you find that helpful. Of course, your career explorations don't end when the conference ends. So now you've made a start, do continue to exploit the advice, the skills programs, such as the Researcher Strategy Consultancy. We have, I think, 15 researchers on that, on the current round, but there's 2 more rounds in the next year. And then all the other career opportunities that are available through the Careers Service, logging into Career Connect, talks that you can attend. We'll be back to in-person careers fairs in the autumn, and all the other teams in your university, in your division, in your department, which exist to support you. So an exciting week ahead. It's now my great pleasure to introduce my colleague Patrick Grant, Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Research.
Hello everybody, thanks very much Jonathan, and thanks very much to the organisers for giving me the opportunity to say a few words this morning. So as Jonathan mentioned, I'm Patrick Grant, I'm the Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Research. I'm also still running a research group, and so I hope I still have some insight into the life of a researcher at different career stages. I want to welcome everyone on the call to this Careers Conference for Researchers. The university is committed to making sure that we equip our researchers as best we can for the next step in your career, and whether that's a step in academia or outside academia, in any other sector, we want to try to help you to take that next step with confidence and with the skills you need. Part of that commitment is that we signed the Concordat for Researcher Development. The Vice-Chancellor signed that in an online ceremony last year in April 2021. And this underlines and commits us to investing more and trying to do more in career development for research staff. We know that many people come to Oxford to pursue their research career in the hope of securing a long-term academic job, but that's not for everyone, and it's a competitive and difficult field to advance in, and more people now see research as a role, as a gateway to other sectors, and we have to help all researchers take their next career step. So we want to try to learn from you about what you want and to help us develop a broad range of support and careers advice. So the Careers Conference is just one example of that. It's an illustration of the way those with an academic background could contribute to other parts of society and work on some of the bigger challenges of our times, and you'll hear examples of that. A part of delivering on the Researcher Staff Development Concordat, which I mentioned earlier, has been last year we set up a new activity in the university called the Researcher Hub. So the Researcher Hub is to complement and link together and strengthen the many departmental and divisional activities in supporting researchers, but to try to make those a little bit more coherent, to link together the different parts of the university, and to offer some distinctly new services, for instance, careers advice for researchers that Jonathan mentioned in his introduction. And it has a physical home. It's at Keble Road, on the Keble Road Triangle in the science area. Please do hop onto the Researcher Hub website as well and see the things that they've done and the many things that are happening. They have a particular profile in researcher careers. Alongside the careers service and the Researcher Hub, there are many other career support and careers networking activities that we try to put together. So in your division, there will often be researcher-led teams providing skills building and careers development sessions that can boost your employability for all sectors. There is Oxford University Innovations, which is the university's fully owned technology transfer company. We call OUI for short. Again, hop onto their website. They offer opportunities to do consultancy work, to use your expertise outside your direct field of research. You might be surprised how much people could value your insights and your advice. They also help give advice and support if you're interested in commercializing some aspect of your research, and that includes social ventures. Doesn't always have to be economically driven spin-offs from your research ideas. Social ventures are more and more part of what OUI is doing and what the university wants to support. There's an umbrella activity called Enterprising Oxford. Again, you can find out about that on our website, which is support and advice for those people who are entrepreneurially minded. That's not about spinning off a company necessarily, but just thinking about how you can use your interest, your skills, and possibly your future trajectory in a more entrepreneurially minded way. We have the Oxford Policy Network, Oxford Policy Engagement Network, which spells open, and that provides opportunities for researchers with an interest who want to engage in policy making, either locally, nationally, or indeed internationally, thinking about the policy implications of your research, or just finding out how does policy work. And then finally, there's the Oxford Research Staff Society. So we've revitalized this structure in the last few years. That's for anyone undertaking research who's staff of the university. Research staff are the university's biggest single group, and it's a great way to network together with people at different career stages, doing all kinds of different sorts of research and thinking about different ways they want to develop their careers. And that operates at department and divisional and university level. So there is a lot going on. We're trying to do more for our research community. We want to hear from you during this conference and through some of the other activities which I mentioned, so that we can help you take the next step with confidence, whatever your career aspiration will be. I really hope you enjoy this conference. Please do contribute, and I wish you all the very best for a great few days. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I really appreciate that. My name is Rebecca Ehata. I'm one of the careers advisors here at the Career Service, and I'm just going to wrap up with a few practicalities for you now, just so that you know where everything is. You should all have this information already, but just in case you're unsure where to find information about the schedule for this week or the details of the session if you want to check before you log into anything, or where to find the conference booklet, which includes the bios of all of our speakers and other details like that, then that's all on the conference page. That link there at the top is the main place to go to for all of that, you know, the kind of practical details about the conference. There's also, Jonathan mentioned a template that we have to try to help you to kind of formulate your ideas, your learning, your reflections as you go through the conference sessions. That's available there at that rather long but hopefully usable link. It's also in the conference booklet as well, in case that's an easier format for you to have it, and that conference booklet is on the conference page, the first link there. If there are any questions that you have which cannot be answered, you can't find the details anywhere, or you're not sure, you booked into a session but you can't remember where your link is, etc., then please contact our wonderful colleagues at the fairs@careers.ox.ac.uk website, and they will be able to answer all of those practicalities. So just a reminder, as Jonathan mentioned, none of these sessions, apart from this first welcome talk and our keynote talk, are being recorded. Everything is off the record effectively, and that's actually very deliberate, so that our speakers can speak freely, but also so that you as members of the audience can really take advantage of being in an environment with people who are doing the things that you may want to do next, that you can ask them whatever questions you want. Remember, there is no such thing as a stupid question, so please don't feel embarrassed to ask. That's the whole point of today, or this week's event. So please, you know, kind of use that opportunity of off-the-record conversations to ask the things that you really need to ask. As Jonathan mentioned again, and as Patrick has also mentioned, we've got a networking session in person, and the people Patrick mentioned, so Enterprising Oxford, the Open Network people, OUI, OXRSS, those people are all going to be at the networking session, which is only happening in person. It follows the keynote talk, so if you want to come and take advantage of having all those people around, you'll also have the Researcher Hub there, and there will be careers advisors, people from the Career Service. That's a unique session that's happening. Please don't hesitate to sign up for that. It's still open for registration until tomorrow evening, and we've got a few places left, so that's going to be a really great opportunity. You'll also be able to speak to our keynote speaker, Jackie Hall, in person and ask her any questions that you haven't had answered in the Q&A from the keynote. So sign up for that, and I can assure you that it'll be a really worthwhile effort to make it to the Career Service to take part in that. Okay, a few other pieces of information. The Researcher Hub, which Patrick has told you all about, it aims at supporting career development both inside and outside academia for research staff. Information at that link, or you can just put in Researcher Hub Oxford University and you should be able to find information if you can't get that long link there. The Career Service has a lot of support beyond this conference. The conference is only one of the things that we do each year. There's lots of online information, advice, support, resources, but also a whole programme of events that we run throughout the year. Every term we have a whole series of workshops, seminars, etc. aimed at our research student and research staff community. The website information is all for those of you who aren't actually from Oxford, and we have hopefully a few people joining us from Oxford Brookes. You can also use all of the resources that are on the Career Service website. That is open access, so please go there for some useful tips on how to take your next career step. Jonathan mentioned that we're recruiting for 2 new careers advisors, so this is just a little cheeky opportunity to let you know about that. If you are potentially interested in that, you think that could be an interesting next move, this is careers advisors for research staff, then please have a look at the job ad, which is now live on the university jobs page on the professional roles section, and that's the vacancy ID there. That closes on 7th of April at 12 o'clock. So if you think that might be interesting, also come along to the networking session and you could actually talk to us and find out what careers advisors actually do to support researchers, find out a little bit more information in person. Okay, that's it from us. So this session will be available throughout the conference. The recording will be made available on the conference webpage. If you want to come back and note any of those things that have been said, you are very free to do so. If you know others who are coming to the conference but have missed this session, please let them know that they can catch up on it later in the conference session. I'd like to thank Patrick Grant especially for joining us and giving you that welcome from the university perspective, and to thank Jonathan Black, our director, for opening the conference. Please enjoy the sessions this week. We've put on as much as we can. We hope that you'll find it beneficial. We will be sending out evaluation forms at the end of the conference with a chance to win book tokens if you participate in that evaluation exercise. So we'd love to hear what has worked from this week, what hasn't worked so well, what else you'd like to see added. That's all really valuable for us, and we do respond each year to try to add in things that people have suggested were missing, or to try to amend the way we do things. It really is useful for us. So thank you all very much, and we hope to see you at many of the other sessions during the week. Thank you.